Good afternoon. I'm Gretchen Hanchett, Vice Chair of the Personnel Committee, and we'll start out with a roll call.
Mr. Ricky, Mrs. Hanchett,
Here.
Mrs. Burdick,
Here.
Mr. Havey, Mrs. Ricketts Swales,
Here.
Mrs. Root, Mr. Rumfelt, and Mr. Stockin. 3 present, 4 absent.
Madam Vice Chair, it appears that we do not have a quorum and we will not be able to conduct business.
All right. What we will do then is just kind of for discussion, just hit a few of the items on the agenda. And we will have a meeting next week to go over and vote for some of the things on the agenda. So the first person up for discussion is Kim Francisco. And
Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
The item that we need to bring before the committee is Mr. Durlam had hired a couple of office aides, and the 2 applicants, their mother is actually working in that office, and she may do some supervision of them. It's just in the nepotism policy to make you aware that they may be supervised by their mother. They will also be supervised by Mr. Durlam and I believe it's Angela for some of the events that are going on.
Okay. Any questions? Legislator Healy?
Okay. So Kim, you're here in your role as the Deputy Human Resources Officer.
Yes.
And the Director's out of the area. And I thank you for coming forward and bringing this to our attention. Those are full-time or part-time positions?
Those are part-time, temporary, just for the summer type
Right.
of thing.
So I don't have a problem with it myself, but thank you.
Okay, thank you for bringing this to our attention. Is there any other questions? All right, we will address it next week in a special meeting.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you, Kim. Okay, next on the agenda for discussion, no vote, is the clerk of our board, Brenda.
I will have that material prepared for next week. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is the Department of Social Services. I have Edna, but I think, oh, there she is.
Well, actually, this has already gone through Human Services, and the purpose of coming in is for the Personnel Office to make a recommendation for a salary on this. And obviously, if you, as you see by the MOE prepared by DSS, there was a salary recommendation based on the range that was previously given to DSS to advertise for this position. And Mr. Budinger was going to be making a salary recommendation to match that. He's not here today, but I just kind of rushed the mic, I'm sorry. It is correct, the 83,000 that was on there? Yes, it was 83,000 was the recommendation from Mr. Budinger, so he wanted me to convey that on his behalf.
Okay, thank you, County Administrator. All right. Edna? We are doing discussions today, and maybe you might want to make the committee aware of what we'll be bringing forward for a special meeting next week, as we do not have a quorum.
It's really
What she just talked about.
Just talked about that.
Okay, all right. Any questions at all on this? Okay, thank you. So, old business. Any new business? Good of the order? Oh, Mr. Healy?
Well, so you got a date and a time for that special meeting set, or?
It hasn't, are we looking at next Wednesday at 11 o'clock?
Or does that have
For
to be
that
determined?
personnel?
I believe you're going to end up with a couple of special meetings next week. You're going to have personnel, and it sounds like there was a request for a special public safety meeting as well. And then you'll have, of course, Ways and Means. You usually caucus. You'll have a board meeting and a committee of the whole. So you'll have a very busy next Wednesday.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I already said the good of order. Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Cricket Swales.
Vertical second that.
Thank you. Committee's adjourned.